All right. Good morning, Lafayette. I'm your meteorologist, Bryan with your forecast for Thursday, May 28th. And I'm hitting lots of buttons and I'm hoping I'm getting out to the world this morning because the normal buttons just aren't quite hitting at all. There I am. There you go, guys. And it's just one of those days where you're like, wow, what can happen this morning? And that's exactly what happened this morning. I'm hoping OBS will show me charts today or will allow me to look at charts. I can see that the audio is going, so that's good. You got these hiccups. You don't expect it. You don't click in until 10 minutes till to get the thing set up because it's all working. Everything's been perfect for like a month now or so. And then boom, you don't have anything. You can't figure out what channel my channel is. None of that stuff. I wasn't able to go out and tell people about it on Facebook, anything like that. So that's kind of how the morning of went for me. And I know many of you have gone through some of the same problems in the morning hours at times when things just don't go right, right? I remember many a night watch going and sitting back down at a computer and going, uh-oh, what just happened? Well, that's what happened this morning. All right. Yesterday it was the audio that was out. Today it's like video. It says it doesn't even know my channel on YouTube. But here I am on YouTube because I can go to the button and create there. And that is how I am doing it this morning. Hopefully, you are seeing me just with this beautiful face showing up, everybody. And everybody's enjoying to what they see. I'm going to check it out on YouTube myself to make sure I am there. Otherwise, it is 67 degrees this morning, looking pretty good for most of us. There's no page up or anything like that on mine, so I'm kind of going through it right now. Let's see what happens when I push in a button. There it is. There I am. And sure enough, there's some audio on there too. Looks like nobody's in here, so I didn't hurt anybody. But let's get into it. 67 degrees this morning. Wow, what a morning it is. What a week ahead. What a beautiful week ahead. I've got some really warm temperatures in here for you in the forecast. I've got some beautifully perfect temperatures, which for me I think is about perfect. And then we've got some cold. No cold in this forecast. Really, it's just about normal to above normal temperatures. A lot of the below normal are just a few degrees below normal, so it looks like it's going to be a nice stretch of some really good weather. But here's the problem: we do need some rain, right? But we got a big old blocking high right now that's kind of taking over for us. And that's what's going to dictate what happens. Let's go see what is going on in our neck of the woods. There's the 67 degrees. Hopefully, you're seeing the page right now instead of just me, the ugly man, on there. So expect sunny skies today. The high will be 85 degrees. And as I told you yesterday, remember, we were looking at one model had it 84 yesterday, the other one had 80. And then today it had it 80 and 85, and they flip flopped each other. And yesterday we were going with the 80 to 85 for today and the 80 yesterday. And that's exactly yesterday ended up getting all the way up to 82. So not bad, not bad at all. I kind of ended up right in the middle between that 80 and 84 number. But today, shooting for around 85, a little bit warmer today. Lots of sunshine, more out this morning. That'll allow for more heating. We're already way warmer than we were yesterday at this time. If you remember yesterday, we were, somewhere around, I don't know, what was it? It was something like uh, 55, right? 57 was it? And here we are at 67 this morning. All right. So that's the way it looks, at least on that front. Um, and it's one of those kind of things that we're kind of struggling with at times, and we feel like we ought to be able to get through life without the ups and downs, but weather is like that constantly, and I have to go through it constantly. And it does look like you guys are not seeing my charts already this morning on OBS. OBS. Let me see if I could start a virtual camera here. So there's a start streaming button. There's a start virtual camera button. There's all kinds of things. You still got the YouTube chat up there for me, but nothing shows up. All it shows is the camera. So if I were have to do a forecast showing you what the weather is like with just a camera, this is what it's going to be like, which is going to be short. while I probably tried to get in and out and work on some different things. So it looks like it says OBS is showing up on the screen, but I noticed that it's only my ugly mug that you are seeing. You are not seeing anything else, which is not good. And I don't know if it's a just a turn the OBS off or if it's not a turn the OBS off, but I know there's a button on the YouTube page. So let me go back to that. It says, "Hey, share your screen." So I'm going to go ahead and hit that one right now. There we go. We've got the button on there. I'm sharing Lafayette, Indiana. Let's talk Lafayette. There it goes. It pops up. It does not have the beautiful monikers and the tab at the top that says "Let's talk Lafayette" and on the bottom "Your weather expert" and all that. But it does show the weather at least on that front. And I may have to change as I go through each page, but we'll get through it. 67 this morning, sunny skies, winds out of the northeast this morning, but only 4 miles an hour. Man, with light winds, it's just so nice. Got out on the slingshot yesterday, was able to do some stuff. Hopefully you were too. And then I just crashed after a very long couple of days of having to run to South Bend and still please say some prayers for my brother-in-law Johnny. It's going to be a long road for him to hoe here, and tough times for everybody involved. So, and we're going to be running back and forth up north and back and picking people up at times and going. So, say some prayers for everybody in the family there involved, if you could, please. So that's we're thankful for that. That is for sure. All right. So what do we have for the rest of it? All right. So now at least I know you can see this chart, can't you? Here's the big bugaboo. If I switch immediately from the 85 today, going to the satellite and radar, do you get to see the satellite and radar? You do not, because I got to tell it what channel I'm going to, right? That's how this works. So now I got to go to the live stream, right? And you don't get to see this, I don't think, on your screen. And I'll to turn it off and come back out to me. Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, doing good. All right. Hey, that's pretty good. Then I tell it I want to go back to live stream and then I want to change the channel and I want to go somewhere else and I want to go to this one. And it pops up on that one. I hope I have to do that every time, but I think I'm going to have to. Now, I put up the big chart here. The entire United States of America. You can see it very easily if you're not sure. Here are the Great Lakes. Here is a big storm in the central portion of the country. Here is kind of a storm near San Francisco. That San Francisco is right about here. So all of Northern California looking at a storm system there. And what's the big deal here with all of this? Let me see here. Let's see if we can draw on this a little bit. All right. So what I see, you got this big high. It's right about here. Basically over the western portions of Lake Superior. And it's pulling all this weather down in here, right? Just like we talked about yesterday. And it's pushing against this system, which looked like it probably would have done this kind of thing normally, but the big old high said, not coming in my neck of the woods. And it's now pushing it up here. So in the upper levels of the atmosphere, you're kind of getting this little bending motion, right? And then like this. And it might actually be more like, let's call it this. There's a big trough, right? It bends back this way, and then it goes up and around and comes back to you like that, right? That's kind of how it is. And this high is blocking anything that's moving anywhere in our neck of the woods, right? So it's all now starting to go this direction. And a lot of the systems are swinging around and doing this kind of thing. A little rose around the merry-go-round, right? Just like that. And they're doing that out there. And man, I think I've gotten a little dizzy. Meanwhile, systems out here are doing the opposite. They're going, hey, 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 hey. And then, of course, in the center of each spot, low here and a high here, there's nothing going on. Actually, no weather. The reason there's a low here and there's nothing there is because it's just not a lot of weather out there. So it's got 1, 2, 3 systems involved with it already. But until we break this out, we are going to stay in this kind of weather where we have this kind of line drawn in the sand where rain will be and won't be. And we'll be able to see that here in just a minute or two. But let's zoom in a little closer to Lafayette, pick up some of the subsectors, get in a little closer, try to see where some of the clouds are off to our east. What's the first thing you might notice? And this is something here. Maybe some of you got into a little bit of fog last night. It's still a little cooler back off to our east than it is off to our north. You can see the temperatures go from gray to this bright, dark darkish color. That means it's warm. That's really warm right there, right? So the warmth is already kicking in just north of Lafayette, which is right about here. And we are just kind of running along the line of where the sun or the high clouds are kind of trying to get through the sun. And you see a little erosion right here. See that right there? See how it kind of looks like it almost goes the other direction? That's an erosion of the clouds right there as it gets into this drier air, which this high is pumping right up in here, right? So we've got all this wind coming in and then from the east. I mean, sometimes yesterday it was so prominent, I thought there's no way this is going to happen, but it's been very consistent. We do not get a northerly wind or northeast, I guess I would call it, to east wind. Northerly is very less. We don't see it. Wind during the year is always southwest to south. Okay, that's our biggest wind, the one we see the most. In the winter, obviously, we get a northerly wind and we can get northeast and we can get northwest. But generally speaking, northeast and east are our least winds that we see in the year, and definitely not in May. Here we are in May. We don't see a northeast wind other than for 10 minutes when the high goes racing by, right? That kind of thing, usually. But now we've got a high setting up and we're continuing to see an easterly flow. And anywhere where there wasn't any fog, because this could be some fog here this morning that's been setting up. Maybe we'll see a little bit on the cameras. We'll have to see. It's going to get hot pretty quick, right? And then how much of the high clouds, and that's all this stuff out here, is actually going to get over Lafayette, because that'll keep us a couple degrees one direction or another. It was shooting for what, 84? It said on there, or was it 86? Okay, so I would lean towards the high already, because look how hot it's getting to our north, and we're 10 degrees warmer already. And we didn't see enough sun in Lafayette proper yesterday until what, late in the afternoon. Lots of clouds all over. When we went out yesterday, we went to Monticello, and soon as I drove across, what is that? Is it 18 that cuts across? What is it cuts across from Battleground to? Okay, not there. It's from Brookston to Delphi, the road that cuts across there. You guys know it. That one. As soon as I drove across that, boom, sun came out and it got warmer immediately. It was only a few miles from my house, but over the house it was still kind of cloudy. You could see some sun, but you couldn't see much. And in town it was worse until later in the day. So that cost Lafayette probably 2 to 4 degrees because the clouds hung in there so long. Meanwhile, up probably in Monticello, I'll bet they saw a high yesterday of 85, 86, right? Depending on where they're taking any measurements out there. So that's just the ideas of how it has been working. All right. So there we are, at least on that front. When we zoom, I'm going to zoom back out just real quick. I'm just going to go out a little bit here. Let's find this sector, regional sectors, and kind of show you where everything's at here, at least on this front. So there we are over here. We can see the highs up here in this area, right up in here, right? And the flow around it is like this. And it's kind of elongated. Look at that, pressing all the way down into the Virginia area and almost to the Carolinas. But we can still see some flow is going this direction here. All right. So we've got this mass going this direction, and let's see where most of the rain is right now. We change it over to the mosaic, and you can see where it is out there, Kansas, Missouri. So if I'm telling you there's a line kind of drawn right through here, about here, where rain on one side, no rain on the other, which is basically kind of, let's just call it the Dakotas through St. Louis, down through Nashville, and hooking into the Virginia area, something like that. Okay, that's just a rough estimate. Swing it in there wherever you want within a few miles of that. All right. What you're going to see is rain over here, rain on the pane, and over here, dry and hot, or warm anyway, warm to hot, right? Once the high, as it positions itself and moves across, it's going to pull in some different types of temperatures. All right. So, like right now, it's up to the north. It's very light. We're not getting hardly any wind. We're not pulling in temperatures from anywhere, really. We're just kind of whatever happens, happens. But as it cuts across, it's going to give us a stronger wind from the east at times, and we're going to cool off. All right. So that's what we're looking at least on that front. Okay. So that's where we're going on that. You see where the rain has been. Your latest visual looks like this. Let me see if I can get the day cloud face to pop up. There it is. You can see the clouds pretty easily. Now look, notice all these high clouds, all the high clouds right in here, right? In this area like that are showing up as a different shade, right? right? They're like a reddish yellow, I don't know, well, reddish, orangish, whitish color. So that's how I know what the high clouds look like. And then the lower clouds, and you can kind of see that here, right? There's some lower clouds down in Kentucky and West Virginia. Everywhere else, there's really not much for clouds to see. I'm not seeing any fog popping up on here. Let's zoom in on that real close sector one right here. All right, there it is. And what do I not see? I don't see, uh, hmm, there we go. I don't see any fog. I don't see any fog popping up. So the temperature difference is doing this right here, already getting warmer. But right in here, there's still just enough of stuff in the atmosphere to keep the temperature just a little cooler than what's going to pop up in Rensselaer already this morning, right? And then Lafayette will get it, but it'll just be a little later. And there's not much cirrus there. And the sun's over here, right? So you wouldn't think it would block it too much. So I would see this entire area here getting very warm today. That anything over here to the north of that, which we don't say very often, do we? That will probably be warmer than St. Louis. That just doesn't happen a lot in our world, in a world's ready to collide. Let's see if I can change over to the other ones for you guys here real quick. There's the live stream. Turn it off. Hello, guys. Good to see you. Now let's hit the button and turn it back on and go to the forecast models of the sector. And this is what we really want to see. And here's the thing on this. I'm in the NAM nest right now, just to give you a heads up on that. Let me turn this off so I can move these around a little easier. All right. And what you're going to see is exactly what I've been talking about. All right. As soon as I needed it, I didn't think I needed it. We're going to draw a line, something like this, right? I can't leave the line on there at the moment, but we're going to draw it right there. So kind of keep that in your mindset of what you're looking at. And it's going to go like this. Look at all the rain. The rain is moving north from the southeast to the northwest, right? It's moving that direction. And here's St. Louis. Here's the Dakotas, right? St. Louis arcing back in. So it's got a little arc to it. And does any of the rain get past that spot? No, it doesn't. Eventually into the Dakotas, but then all you're doing is just reorientating the line. And that was your next 2.5 days of forecast. That was Thursday, Friday, and now into Saturday afternoon, and you still have a line just like this. Look at that. It's maybe moved a little closer to us, but it's not done much. And the high is only like right here. Okay. But now look at what you're seeing. You're seeing a stronger east wind, which means we're going to be a little cooler, but our rain is still held off over here behind a line of debarkation, as they used to say when you were getting in, you were getting Going live. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. You're live. And the microphone is back. But did I lose everybody? Are you still there? Do you even care? So we've been talking about heat. If you've been with me and you've miraculously kicked over to me because what I would do if the guy lost his channel like that. Um, Can I get a Fowler count today? I can. That's 2 today. 2. 1 way off in the distance, we're not counting. All right. So, and my internet is still in and out. Looks like you can see me again. I'm going to see if it switches over to cameras. And if it does, I'm going to continue forward, trying to strive to boldly go where no man has gone before. And that's the internet in your rural Tippecanoe County of Lafayette, where we're supposed to have high fiber connections, and we don't at times, and we do at other times. And now, I don't think you're seeing my charts, but let's see. I can see myself on the picture of it, but now there's 3 of you in there rooting me on for a good day. All right, let's see what else is happening out there on some of those. Let's go back to the map. I don't think you're actually seeing the maps, which is a bummer. But let's see what happens. Gonna go up to Peru, north of there, Rensselaer. That's where we're gonna go this time. Oh, there's the construction. They've moved it back into the 2 lanes here as they're working on the bridge and doing different things in this area and making it a little easier for you to run along the interstate. And what I see right now is pretty much, I don't think you're seeing my charts again, are you? Okay, so okay, I see a guy on here. Raul Perez is in my forecast area, and he's wondering what is going on with this guy. And he's talking about hurricanes, and he's talking in Spanish. And the National Hurricane Day is coming up, January 1st, I believe, if I can read a little bit of Spanish, but I can't. And you're still not seeing my charts. So what is up with that, YouTube? Huh? What's up with that? Huh? What can you say about that? So let's turn that off and let's turn it back on and see if we pick something up in here along these lines. All right. One last try. Come on. You got this. You can do this. Sure. There we go. All right. Let's see if it comes back on. See, my screen says I've got it on, but your screen says no, he's on the camera. And we love looking at that guy. There it is. Popped on finally. We are back to having intranet. And 2 of you are still hanging with me. I love it. I love it. See the pictures. All right, let's head south. There's the beautiful sunshine over the northern portion of the area. Oh, there's that great camera. I thought we only got about a half a picture out of that, but we do have a full picture out of that right now. I can see just some little bit light cirrus on the horizon up here, so we know north is off over here, right? That. And then as we get down to Remington there, this actually says Remington on the shot. And then there's your exit at 231, right? And a very nice day all over the planet today here in our how that is on the planet. And nice sunshine. We're seeing no rain clouds like yesterday. State Road 18 is gorgeous. Again, see some cirrus on the horizon. That was what we saw in the satellite picture. For those of you who were able to see some of the satellite picture, sunny skies, State Road 43 and 65 heading north. You can get all the way to Chicago today. All right. Towards State Road 43 from State Road 25. And you can see that we do have some beautiful weather there. Roads look a little more stacked today. There's a few more cars on them today. Definitely more than yesterday. Here we are over at State Road 26. We can see some contrails cutting through there in the sky, otherwise blue skies, and some more cirrus on the horizon here for the skies there on the camera looking from State Road 38 to the south towards Indianapolis. Oh, look at this, the Frankfurt map. They changed it, or the camera, I mean, excuse me. No clouds on there. And the metropolis of Frankfurt off in the distance. For those of you who laugh at that a little bit like I do, there is no metropolis of Frankfurt. All right. So we got our car count. We looked everywhere. Let's look a little farther south towards, say, someplace that has some clouds first off, Covington. Can't see it on there, unfortunately. Let's go way down to Terre Haute and see if we can see some cloud cover anywhere. There you go. You can see a little bit thicker clouds over the Terre Haute region, but still sunshine, right? See some really good shadows on the ground. So they are seeing something there themselves. So now I'll come back out to the live stream, turn it off. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? And because I am having internet problems, I am going to go back and look at the model run real quickly, see if the new model run is in for what we'll be looking for, which is going to be the her. You thought I was going stiff there, didn't you? All right, back to the forecast models is what I'm telling it. I don't know if you can see these buttons on here or not. Hopefully, you can see where we're talking now. And I've shifted over to the her model. We're going to look at the her now this time, right? Yeah, and we did shift over, so that's good news. There we are showing the rain. All right, this is the rain for 48 hours. This is what the 6Z looks like. And what did I tell you guys? There's just a line basically all through out here, kind of over by St. Louis, up into the Dakotas. And there's just nothing that can get past this line because we have a high pressure system to our north. Right now, it's roughly here. In a couple days, it shifts over here. Then another high takes over and takes control. And we just don't see a lot of rain in between in different times now. Okay. Let's see if the new run, the 12Z, tries to get anything in there. And we have 81% of the new run in goes out to there. Same thing, right? We see a force up to that point. It kind of gets just past St. Louis and it just falls apart. And this is all the way out through Friday night. All right. And you notice Lafayette right here. No rain, no nothing. A few clouds come and go at times because of that system right there. All right. And so then we wanted to go look at what was the GFS's outlook on rain also. And it keeps it farther to the south. You can see it. This is clicking right in on Saturday. And let's go till we find something that's of significance. Lafayette is right here. Again, just to give you a heads up, it's right there. All right. And we move along. We don't see anything. And I'm just moving the maps along. I'm trying to find something significant that actually looks like there is. What do I see here? I see a high here to our north, okay, at this time frame. And that's at Tuesday. That's coming Tuesday already. So we're nothing through Tuesday. And here we are through Wednesday. And the high is shifted and it's down over here now, starting to give us a more southerly flow. But look at what the rain is going around the high, right? It's going around the high. We're under the high or close enough to the center that nothing's happening. Do we break the bubble anytime? There we go. There it is. Next Friday, June 5th, 7 days from now, we try to get some rain in here. It'll be short-lived. Watch what happens right after that because the rain goes through and then we start to set up another high pressure system. And here we go again. Rain is around it, but not over us. We've only had rain on one day, Friday, and it's going around us. There's a little telltale sign, but nothing. I'm not holding my breath for this one to get us some rain, but that's Tuesday, June 9th. So maybe Tuesday. All right. Luckily, that could knock down some temperatures with some clouds. And there's this big old high right here, almost through the whole thing. The high is in some formation somewhere in this area, just off the chart or just onto the chart, except for that one day it allowed that front to go through. And there is nothing. So that is all the way out to June 13th. And it has some approaching front, but this is that spot where you go cold front, stationary front, warm front, and everything continues to go around the high that's down here. So this big high, or a couple of them, is going to control our weather for the next couple of weeks. And that means I think you're going to see every time the skies open up a pretty warm day for most days. All right. That's what I'm seeing on here. So you can see that pretty well. Let's check out the European model, see if the European model is that drastic with everything too. All right, so we got to change the precipitation here. And there we go. We've got it. So there it's got same thing. Lines over here, right? We're right here. We're underneath the influence of the high pressure system more than anything else. And when's this dated? This is Saturday, May 30th. All right. And let's see how far out this thing's going. Oh, it's in the 6Z, only came in for a short period. So I got to go way back out to 00Z to get the long range to see if there's anything on here. When does it bring its first rain towards us? Nothing. I'm going. I don't know how quickly I'm going, but I'm waiting for the first rain. Was it the following Monday? Was it not? So even the European model, Friday, June 5th, right? So Friday brings up us, and is that, it kind of brushes us for a little bit, but then kind of misses us to the south. And then on Monday, it finally kind of brushes a good system into us by that day, breaks down the high for a little bit, and then starts to reorientate and set the high back up, right? And then here's your high right here, up here to the north again, coming in. So um, next Friday, guys, a week for rain, and then like another week after that on your long range prognoses. Okay, so not a lot of help there, not a lot of help at all.